15th of November 1985, the Hunter Valley's Oncology Unit at Waratah was officially opened. State Minister for Health and Deputy Premier Ron Mulock was there as hundreds of cancer appeal supporters looked on. This has been a long and exciting project for Newcastle, marked by cooperation between the government and the community. It's new hope for those suffering cancer. I'm John Church. But despite the advances in medical cures for cancer, many cases will still lead to death. Doctors call the treatment for terminal patients palliation.
It's a common fallacy in cancer that death is always inevitably drawn out and very painful. In my experience, pain is not common in patients who even have quite advanced cancers. They usually feel just generally very weak and tired. But when they do have pain, palliation means very effective pain treatment. This will often let a patient go back home and spend more time with their family. And when they die, that is a very important time, again, for the people who look after them. There are two overriding principles in the management of patients with cancer who get recurrence, and that is, life must have meaning while you're alive, and when it's time for death, it should be death with dignity, and if the patient desires it, at home with the family or wherever. And that is really what I guess this medical school is very much about, and what you medical students are meant to be learning more than anywhere else in Australia, and that is the counselling and the support and the understanding of people as individuals. And no other disease than cancer really brings that out. Patients with cancer, they live quite a long time, they have a lot of fears, and it's a disease that makes big demands on the patient, the family, and on the people who look after them.
The creation of the oncology unit has hidden benefits as well. Our sophisticated equipment and our approach to treatment is attracting the top people in their field. And there's every possibility that Newcastle in the future will lead the world in cancer research.
There's a kind of reciprocity between the two, and I think we need equipment like this to justify and vindicate the presence of people who are expert in using it. It's a bit like wanting fighter pilots at Williamtown. Well, obviously you can't attract them unless you've got the hardware to enable them to use their skills for the benefit of the community, and that's a good analogy. Now we've got the hardware here, the machines like this and so on, which are quite crucial to the operation of the cancer therapy people. So once having got the money to purchase the machines, then we can attract the appropriate specialists, and that in fact has happened.
I want to end finally on a positive note, and that is, we've said the results are improving. Why are the results of cancer treatment improving, do you think? All aspects of cancer are being researched in the Hunter region. We're doing research into preventing melanoma, for instance. There's education programs going on to try and stop high school children taking up smoking. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the big worry is the number of young women taking up smoking. The men are giving it away, the women are taking it up. We're working in Newcastle into research into early detection, particularly with melanoma. There are research programs into the actual cause of the disease itself and what sort of disease it is. And I would estimate that we attract between $250,000 and $500,000 of research funding into this valley every year in competition with scientists all over Australia for cancer research in the Hunter Valley.
The first patients can expect to be treated here from January 1986. The fact that the unit is a reality is a direct result of a unique cooperation between the government, healthcare professionals and the community.
I don't know any other community in Australia that's manifest such a degree of awareness about health issues and has got together to raise money for facilities like the Hunter region. I mean, it's not commonly known outside the Hunter region, but the amount that was raised and the way in which people got behind that appeal must have a positive spin-off into the community, quite apart from what was done to develop the cancer unit. By that I mean that if a community learns that by getting together they can achieve things in one area, it gives them confidence to do it in another. And I would say just watch from now on.
The NBN telethon is really an expression of the people. If the people of the Hunter Valley hadn't wanted to fight for their own cancer treatment centre, then it would never have come here, no matter how hard people like myself and people in the hospitals might have wanted it to. It's because the people wanted it and they showed their support in lots of ways, but the telethon was really the most dazzling and convincing display, I think, of support for any cause that I've ever encountered.